Let's take a look at multiplying polynomials. We have to remember a property of exponents. It says if you got x to a power, like x to the m, times x to a power, x to the n, then you can add the exponents. So x to the m plus n. Well, let's look at our first problem here and see how that applies. So we got 3a to the fifth, b to the third, times negative 2a b to the fourth. Okay, this is a monomial times a monomial. We'll multiply the numbers together. 3 times negative 2 gives us negative 6. And we'll multiply the a's together. A to the fifth times, and we just have a single a. If I were to put an exponent on this, it'd be the divisible 1. We got 1a. So a to the fifth times a to the first, you add the exponents. 5 plus 1 gives us a to the sixth. B to the third times b to the fourth, you add the exponents. 3 plus 4 is 7. So we got b to the seventh. Now, I think of this a lot more simplistic when I'm working a problem. When I'm multiplying these together, I see 5 a's, I see 1a, I got 6 a's. I see 3 b's, I got 4 b's, I got 7 b's. I kind of visualize it. So I'm not sitting there mentally doing this property in my head. I'm just looking to see how many b's I have, how many a's I have. And that's our answer. Let's take a look at this one. We got 9y times y squared minus 2y minus 5. Now we got one term out in front, and we got 3 terms inside. Terms are separate by pluses and minuses. So we're going to take this term that's out in front, and we're going to multiply it times the first term inside, times the second term inside, and times the third term inside. Let me scroll down a little bit. Okay. So we're going to have 9y times y squared. We'll have 9y times negative 2y. We'll have 9y times negative 5. Read my writing. Okay. 9y times y squared. We've got 1y, we've got 2 y's. That means we've got 3 y's. 9 times negative 2 is negative 18. We've got 1y here, 1y here, so that gives us 2 y's. 9 times negative 5 is negative 45, and the y just carries along. And that's our answer. I like to use this line method. It clearly tells you what to multiply everything by. Let's take a look at this one. We got x plus 7 times x minus 4. Some of you learned FOIL on this, and that's fine. If you learned FOIL and want to use it, that's perfectly fine. I'm going to use line method again. We got 2 terms here, we got 2 terms here. So I'm going to take the first term, this x, and I'm going to multiply it times the first term in the other parentheses, and times the second term. So I'm going to have x times x, hopefully not red-green colorblind, and x times negative 4. If you are, I won't do that on the next problem. Then I'll take my second term, the 7, and I'll multiply it times the first term over here and times the second term. So I'll have 7 times x, and I'll have 7 times negative 4. Well, x times x is x squared. We've got 2 x's. X times negative 4 is negative 4x. 7 times x is 7x. 7 times negative 4 is negative 28. Now, always in mathematics, you should combine together like terms. Like terms where we have same variable, the same power. So negative 4x plus 7x gives us 3x. We add the numbers in front, and then the minus 28 carries down. I like the line method because it works no matter what your problem looks like. If you got 1 term and 3 terms, it works. If you got 2 terms, 2 terms, it works. Some people get confused on when to use FOIL. Let's take a look at another one of those. Got 8x minus 1 times x minus 3. And I want to multiply these together. So I'm going to take my first term, this 8x, and I'll multiply it times the first term over here and times the second term. And I'll take my negative 1, and multiply times the first term over here and times the second term. Okay, so I'm going to take 8x times x plus 8x times negative 3. Just following my lines. And then I'll take negative 1 times x and negative 1 times negative 3. Well, 8x times x is 8x squared. Remember, we got 2 x's, so 2 x's. 8 times negative 3 is negative 24x. Negative 1 times x is negative 1x, or you could put negative x if you wanted. Negative 1 times negative 3 is a positive 3. So we got 8x squared. Combine together like terms. Negative 24 and negative 1 gives us negative 25x plus 3. And that's our answer. Let's take a look at this one. We got y plus 3 times y minus 3. Now these are conjugates right here. Conjugate means your first parts are the same, this is y and this is y, and your last parts are the same. This is 3 and this is 3, but the sign in the middle is different. This is positive, this is minus. Now I'm going to multiply just like normal, but we're going to see something nice happen with conjugates. So I'm going to take this y here, multiply times y over here, and times the negative 3. And then we'll take the 3 and multiply times the y and times the negative 3. So I got y times y plus y times negative 3, just following the lines. And then we got 3 times y, and we got 3 times negative 3. Well, y times y is y squared. Y times negative 3 is negative 3y. 3 times y is 3y, and 3 times negative 3 gives us negative 9. Always combine together like terms. Negative 3y plus 3y cancel, and we're left with y squared minus 9. When you're dealing with conjugates, all you have to multiply together is your first parts and your last parts. So y times y gives you y squared. 3 times negative 3 gives you negative 9. If you spot that, it'll save you some work. If you don't, it's no big deal. They'll drop away anyway. Okay, let's look at this one right here. 2x minus 5 squared. A lot of people get this one wrong. 2x minus 5 squared, we have to rewrite this way. 2x minus 5 times 2x minus 5. And then it becomes like the problems we just looked at. So I'll take the 2x here, multiply times 2x there, multiply times the negative 5. And I'll take this negative 5 and multiply it times the 2x and times the negative 5. So we got 2x times 2x plus 2x times negative 5 minus 5 times 2x minus 5 times negative 5. Again, just following my lines. 2x times 2x, 2 times 2 is 4, x times x, we got 2 x's, so x squared. 2 times negative 5 is negative 10x. Negative 5 times 2 is negative 10x. Negative 5 times negative 5 gives us a positive 25. And combine together like terms in any step. Negative 10x is negative 20x plus 25. And that's our answer. What people will try to do in this problem is they'll try to square the 2x and square the negative 5. And you can't do that. You have to write out like I just showed here. The reason why you can't do it is you can only do that if everything inside your parentheses is multiplication or division. This minus here is what screws it up.